At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Well, good morning to you all. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. You are watching Weather NorCal. This is Coffee with Krueger. It starts every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Hoping you have a good start to the day. It was a little gusty out there yesterday, but you know, the wind's not as strong as anticipated, at least by the National Weather Service. Allowed that wind advisory to expire a little bit sooner than they had anticipated here overnight, but still some gusty winds out there in some areas here, and it looks like those winds are going to start to die down, though, as we go through the day today and into tomorrow. Before we get to the forecast here, we'll quickly do want to remind you we still have that Reading Rodeo ticket giveaway. Today is the last day that you can do it, so here's the ways you can enter. If you're watching right now on Facebook, all you got to do is share it, and in the comment section below, say you want to enter in the contest. Now, if you did it yesterday, you don't have to do it today. Okay, so we'll just kind of the one time. I do want to remind you that a lot of you that are sharing, I then go to see who shared it, and then it has privacy settings, and I can't see who shared it. So make sure that if you want me to see that you shared it, that you I don't know, I'm not exactly sure how the settings go, but there are some privacy settings in there that do not allow me to see that if you shared. But if you make a comment, that will then allow me to see that as well. Also, if you are watching from any other platform other than Facebook, as I know that there are many other platforms that I offer, so you're thinking, well, that's not fair. Well, it is. I'm going to make it fair, because all you have to do at that point then is you can email me directly at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com. And to make it even easier for you, you can go to Weather NorCal right here. Here's the home page. See right there, right below the Crown Motors logo, it says Contact. Click that. And then from there, all you do is put your name, your email, and your message that you want to be entered in the contest. Boom, you are good to go, and you can get in on that. Now, today's the last day to do, as I mentioned. I'll be announcing the winners tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger. So be sure to tune in tomorrow morning for that. Let's get you to the forecast here, and we're going to get you out the door this morning. It's May 9th. It is Thursday. It's almost Friday. So this morning, as you're heading out the door, you'll notice, for the most part, not very cold for most of us. Now, you can see these temperatures here, like in the Eastern Mountains, for example. There are a few areas that are sheltered by the winds. We're seeing some pretty much colder temperatures in places like Bernie, for example, which we'll see there in our current temperatures. Same thing for the valley. Up near Reading, we'll be in the low 60s, but near Chico, probably more like the low 50s. So it just depends on where you are. But those breezy winds are really kind of keeping those temperatures up a bit for many of us. It's not too terribly cold out there this morning. So again, you can see the wind-sheltered areas like Chico, Corning, Willows, mid to upper 50s. But you head into Reading, it's 65 degrees right now. But look at Bernie, 31. That's one of the colder spots right now. Elsewhere, it's in the 40s, so that's why, you know, it's a pretty good representation. But Mount Shasta, you're at 34 degrees, 51 degrees right now in Weaverville, and 60 in Crescent City, much cooler in Eureka at 47. Now look at the winds right now. I mean, we're seeing those winds upwards of 21 miles per hour out at the Reading Airport. That's where we're seeing the strongest winds. So again, yes, a little breezy for some of us this morning. But the good news is these winds will start to die down. In fact, the wind advisory for southern Trinity County, that will expire in 2 hours. And the wind advisory for the Eastern Mountains will expire at 11 o'clock this morning. So again, a little breezy this morning. Now look at the noon hour. We're still around 15, close to 20 miles per hour in the valley. And you can see east of the valley in the foothills, some of the canyons and those ridge tops, we're still seeing some gusty winds there. But by now, the winds are really starting to die down. And by the afternoon, you can still see still about a little over 10 miles per hour in the valley. And still a tad breezy in the Eastern Mountains. But again, overall, we're seeing these winds kind of trending downward. Now, of course, you can see tomorrow morning, still some gusty winds at times for some of the ridges and those canyons east of the valley. But as we look at the overall trend going into tomorrow afternoon, once again, the winds are starting to subside a bit. So here's what it looks like out there today. And I think most of us in the valley are going to dodge the 90s today. Now, if some of us touch 90 degrees today, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be the first time this year that we see 90 degrees. But I think we're going to hold off for most of us tomorrow, until tomorrow for that. Otherwise, I mean, look at elsewhere. I mean, it's 70s pretty much anywhere else you go in the mountains, even the coast, it's 70. Modoc County, a little bit cooler there. I think we're going to be kind of just hovering around that upper 60 to 70 degree mark. So look at the big void of clouds over really the western United States in general. And when I say that, mainly California, Washington, and Oregon. That's because high pressure, it's building. It's getting stronger. So as a result, what we're left with are sunny skies out there for today. And then that'll be the case with clear skies going into tonight as well. So we take a look at our forecast for today. As I mentioned, I think most of us in the valley will dodge that 90 degree mark. But, you know, I mean, if one or two of us makes it to that 90 degree mark, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we're just shy by 2 degrees. So we'll see. But otherwise in the 70s for most of us in the mountains and even along the coast. Okay, so let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. And what we're seeing here, yeah, there it is. 90 degrees or higher starting Friday, and we keep it in the 90s through the weekend and at least through the middle of next week. And notice too, it's ticking upward Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, but not really high. I don't think we're going to quite reach those upper 90s next week. Here's your 7-day outlook for the coast, inland, and look at Weaverville. Look at Trinity County. You see that? A chance for showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. You'll notice I've taken them out for Monday. But I'll tell you what, if you stick around and watch the deeper dive forecast, you'll see that I may eventually even add a chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday for some of the mountains. And you'll see that on future casts here in a little bit. But yeah, for all of the mountains, I think there is that chance at least on Sunday. But as I mentioned, I may be including that going on into your Saturday, maybe kind of bump that up a day. Take a look at Main Street, Chico on Highway 32. Looks like things are kind of moving along there with the traffic. Look at the winds. Certainly blowing down there on Highway 99 at Neal Road. It's that camera kind of blowing off there in the wind. We take you out to Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. Unfortunately, this is not a moving camera, so we have still images to give us an idea at least what the traffic looks like. Taking a look at Lake Oroville, looks like there we go. The camera is kind of freezing up there a little bit here. You can see kind of the winds are blowing there a little bit down towards Lake Oroville. You can kind of see kind of some choppy waters, if you will. I mean, nothing major, but those winds certainly are blowing. All right, today is Thursday, and we have our NorCal Ag Report, which is sponsored by Lassen County Nursery. Now, last week, Jerry O'Lennon had talked to someone out in Butte County about kind of the state of agriculture and the state of some of the crops that they're dealing with there at that particular farm and how it's not looking so great. But Jerry tried to get a little bit more of a positive spin out of this guy here in this ag report. So, oh shoot. You're going to have to give me a second, folks. I forgot to add the ag report into my little thing here. So give me a second here. You're going to look at this here for a second. I got to go in here. NorCal Ag, there it is. Here we go. Let's see if we can get it to download here. It's going to take, let's see if it, let me try it again. Here we go. All right. So there it is there. Give me a second here. Give me just a second. Let me kind of, I got to take everything out here. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize for this. It's frustrating because, you know, I'm a one-man guy here, and sometimes you just kind of get in the flow of things, and, well, you see what's happening here. I'm probably going to see how everybody just drop out of here. He can't get his stuff together, so I'm gonna head on out of here. All right, so we get that in there, and well, let's see if it's here. It's here. I got it. Okay, without further delay, here it is, folks.
I'm Jerry O'Lennon with NorCal Weather, and this is the Ag Report, sponsored by Lassen Canyon Nursery. Once again, I'm at the M&T Ranch in Chico, Butte County, with Lee Herringer, and the first part of my discussion with him, it was pretty negative. Things are not going particularly well for all of the different crops in this area. Give us some more specifics. Let's pick up on where we left off last time.
So one of the issues, let's go with walnuts, is there are a lot of walnuts in the state. You know, prices were really good about 10 years ago, so there were a lot of acreages planted, and everyone kind of wanted to get on board. You know, there's an opportunity to make some money, so they planted walnuts. Well, walnuts are a crop that stay in the ground for a long time. It's not like if the prices get bad, you could just plant something else the next year. You've got a walnut orchard, and it's going to be in the ground for 30 years. So that's one of the issues that we're having. So the yields have just been getting better and better throughout the state. So we're almost, you know, shooting ourselves in the foot by having good yields out there.
Is there still room for it to get worse before it gets
better?
I
think I hope that's the case. You know, certainly we don't know. In agriculture, we're price takers, so we take what we get. You know, we don't dictate the price. That all happens after us. So we kind of take what we can get, and we're hoping that it's reached the bottom. Prices this year look a little bit better so far, but we haven't even set the crop yet.
Is this a problem that is only seen in Butte County or in the North State in California?
Yeah.
Is this spread nationwide?
It's a good question. This is it's a statewide issue. You know, because this is the growing region for the United States as far as nut crops go. So the majority of everything from the country comes from right here in the Central Valley of California and the Sacramento Valley. So this is a valley-wide issue. We're really having some issues, and then a lot of that on top of that. You know, guys are having to cut corners a little bit, you know, in their growing practices, things they would normally do, spraying, winter sanitation in these orchards, they're not doing it. So last year we had one of the worst, or the state had one of the most unbelievable insect infestations we've ever seen before. So the quality of the almond crop last year was pretty bad.
Final question, Lee Herringer of M&T Chico Ranch. What could the state or the federal government do, if anything, to help this matter?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that if we can clean up the messes at the ports, which they are, yeah, it's getting a lot better. We can actually export some of these products now pretty freely. That was an issue before. But just try and figure out a way to kind of stabilize the economy, stabilize the markets. It's really, it's a roller coaster right now.
Listen, I wish we had better news. And next time we talk to you, let's hope it gets better.
Me too. Thank you
so much, Lee.
You know, obviously we try to do everything that we can to kind of, you know, keep things positive around here. But, you know, sometimes the reality is that things don't always look so great. And agriculture is one of those things. It's kind of the up and down of the market and how things are going with the crops. So I want to thank Jerry for kind of diving deep with the farmers and just kind of figuring out what's going on out there. So you'll be seeing more reports from Jerry. I think that he's going to be a great addition to the team here with these ag reports. And, you know, as we expand into things outside of just agriculture, you may see his face kind of diving deep into other aspects of the community as well. Again, trying to stay on the positive side here, but you know, every once in a while you gotta point out a few things to kind of give you a little taste of reality as well. All right, folks, let's see here how everyone's doing out there this morning. I'm gonna do a quick update, taking a look at how everyone's doing. We got Lisa saying it's almost Friday. Yes, it is. Good morning, everyone from Red Bluff. A little breezy this morning, but looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. That is coming in from Bill. Ronald saying, good morning, my dear friend. I hope you have a fantastic day ahead. Just want to let you know that I'm thinking of you today. You never sent me a message about advertising. Well, maybe I'll do that, Ronald. So we'll see what we can kind of work out there. Good morning, 7 miles west of Red Bluff. Not too windy here this morning. A good time to get the swamp cooler ready for the, it's gonna definitely start getting warmer out there without a doubt. Real quickly here, we're going to take a look at the day's calendar. National Calendar Day. Isn't this fun? I'm going to throw the music in there, but hopefully I remember to take it off. All right, National Homefront Heroes Day. That is today. Well, that's kind of fun. I like that one. That's it's always good to have a day for our homefront heroes and just our veterans or heroes in general. National Alphabet Magnet Day. All right, well that's fun. If you've got magnets on your refrigerator that are the alphabet All right, that's kind of fun. National Sleepover Day. All right, so it looks like the girls are having a little pillow fight there. On Thursday, I would think Friday or Saturday would be a good day for that. But, you know, what do I know? National Butterscotch Ooh, that sounds good. You know, today's dessert night, too, for me. So maybe I'll have a butterscotch brownie, if I can find one. I'm sure they're hard to find. National Moscato Day. I'm assuming that's a wine? I don't know much about wine. I don't drink much. National Lost Sock Memorial Day. Now that's funny. That's just fun. I mean, how many times do you throw, you know, laundry and socks in the dryer and then you pull them out and you have all these mismatched socks everywhere, and you have these socks everywhere that don't have matching socks. All right, so there you have it. Those are the national clock days. Well, what do you say we get to the forecast? Before we do that, I want to say good morning to Dean and Frank from Monterey. Monterey from Frank. Got to get my cooler ready when I get home on Friday. There you go. All right, so we're going to get to the main forecast here, and before we do that, we need to mention our sponsor, which is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots, and of course, your table games. All right, let's get another reminder of the Reading Rodeo ticket giveaway. If you're a fan of the rodeo, you've got one more chance to get free tickets. Today's the last day. Now, you can take, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching Coffee with Krueger on Facebook, all you got to do is share it, and I say and because sometimes a lot of you share things, but I can't see who shared it. But if you comment on this and say, I want to be entered in the contest, then I'll enter you into the contest. Now, if you're not watching from Facebook, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, from the website, from your app, right? If you're watching it in those platforms and you can't comment, then all you have to do is email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com. You can also go to weathernorcal.com, click on the contact section, and then just fill in the information and let me know that you want to be entered into the contest. Winners will be announced on Friday. So you got one more day, and that's today. Temperatures, what a spread here that we're seeing. 65 degrees right now in Reading. That's because the winds are blowing. In fact, the last I saw was over 21 miles per hour at the airport. 57 though in Chico, much calmer winds there. Look at Boerne. Boerne seems to be the cold spot this morning at 31. You go anywhere else in the mountains, you're mainly in the 40s with the exception of Mount Shasta City at about 38. So those winds are blowing enough to kind of keep those temperatures up a bit. Also an indication that temperatures in general are just warming up. And that doesn't just translate to the daytime highs, but it translates into those overnight lows too. We tend to see those warmer temperatures overnight as well. But the winds are certainly a big contributing factor here this morning. So the winds will be getting weaker over the next few days. We'll notice the trending downward today and tomorrow going into the weekend. 90+ degree temperatures in the valley by tomorrow. Now, some of us may touch that 90 degree mark today, which we'll get into a little bit more detail in a second, but I think most of us are going to hold off until tomorrow. Possible mountain showers and thunderstorms this weekend. And I'm thinking it's mainly Sunday, but now I'm beginning to see signs that, you know what, it's not out of the question maybe even on Saturday. We'll get into that here in a second as well. Bigger heat next week? Okay, yeah. I put a question mark there because it depends on which model you look at. But I'm seeing trending toward, it kind of spikes a little bit again toward Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and then maybe another dip coming in after that. Which I don't think anybody complaining about that, because by then, you know, by next week, we're talking mid, maybe some upper 90s. So the wind advisory until 9 o'clock this morning for southern Trinity County and for the eastern mountains until 11 o'clock this morning. So yes, the winds are dying down, but still a bit gusty, especially in the foothills, those canyons, those mountain ridge tops. You're certainly seeing some of those gusty winds. But by this afternoon, yes, much weaker. Still a bit breezy, though, for places like Susanville, Alturas, and Aden, so upwards of around 20 miles per hour. Now, we go into Friday morning. Again, ridge tops in those canyons, seeing some gusty winds. Otherwise, not that bad, although look at Reading. Still about 20 miles per hour, even maybe tomorrow morning. But then by tomorrow afternoon, everyone is seeing those calmer winds. And we take you into Saturday, really across the board, much calmer winds there as well. All right, so again, it's this downward trend that we are seeing. Now, the reason being is we've got high pressure that's building here That's the reason why I got this big void of clouds right here. That's a pretty good, strong ridge of high pressure. Meanwhile, you see the clouds here. The main area of low pressure is spinning here, but we have this area of low pressure right here. So the difference between these two has been what's been creating those gusty winds. But as this ridge builds and moves northward, as this low moves to the south, what's happening? Yeah, they're beginning to get farther and farther away from each other. And as a result, the winds begin to weaken. So let's take a look at Futurecast. We're going to take a look at chances for rain to start off first of all. Okay, today, sunny skies. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous day out there across the board. But look at Friday. As we go to Friday afternoon, you see how we're beginning to see a few more of those puffy cumulus clouds beginning to develop, especially to the east. So we'll call it partly cloudy for some of us tomorrow afternoon, mainly in the eastern mountains. But as we go into Saturday, things get a little bit more interesting. Now, the long-range forecast models didn't really pick up on this, but this is the beauty of these shorter range forecast models. Why is it not advancing? My clicker doesn't seem to want to work. Let me see if that works. There we go. Hopefully it works after that. But as we go into Saturday, look what happens. You see how we're starting to see a lot more cloud cover as we go into the higher elevations. So we're beginning to see more and more of those puffy cumulus clouds. And that's really in association with the heat. It's getting warmer, that heat is rising. There seems to be some moisture in the atmosphere to give us some of the clouds. But what you'll also notice, if you look closely, see these little areas of green, okay? So that's picking up at the potential for a stray sprinkle or a light shower. So some of these clouds may build big enough that we'll eventually maybe see a few stray showers. Now, it'll be interesting to see as we go into the next 12 to 24 hours to see if we maybe even see some thunderstorms developing out of this as well. So that could get interesting. I mean, look down right here, or right behind the clock. You are seeing over parts of this area maybe some thunderstorms. So it's not out of the question for us to maybe see that as we go into Saturday. For now, I'm not including it in the forecast, but just I want you to be aware of that. Now we go into Sunday, and there you can see now it's picking up on that. So it'll be interesting what the shorter range forecast model picks up for Sunday. As we go into tomorrow, we'll get a better idea of that. But, all right, so this weekend, maybe just a little interesting for the mountains. I don't anticipate it to be a widespread event. And then after that, it looks like most of any thunderstorms will be along the spine of the Sierra here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And probably even into Thursday, Friday of next week as well. But for us here in the North State, Northern California in general, it should be okay. All right, so there you can see the winds. There's the area of high pressure, area of low pressure to our east. That's what's giving us the winds over the last few days. But again, remember I was mentioning this is moving northward, this is moving southward, they're spreading apart. As a result, the winds get weaker, but we get warmer. Now notice this, that ridge of high pressure will weaken. Why? Because we've got this guy right up here. So we've got this little dip in the jet stream. It's known as a trough of low pressure. It's got cooler air associated with it. As this moves eastward, it's going to flatten out. So when you have a ridge, a nice prominent ridge, kind of like this, and you flatten it out, what it does is it moderates the temperatures, and we see our temperatures drop as a result. So yes, the warmer air is still going to be in place over us. I mean, we're far away from that colder air, but temperatures will moderate. I still think we'll be in the 90s over the weekend, but if this wasn't here, we'd probably be well into the 90s. We're talking mid to maybe even upper 90s. So we can thank this guy up here for preventing us from getting much warmer than the low 90s. Now, as that moves out, Monday, Tuesday of next week, this ridge of high pressure is going to try to build in, but there's something preventing that from happening. It's this right up here, another trough of low pressure. So you see how we have this flattened ridge of high pressure, but we are still seeing it kind of making its way into even the Pacific Northwest, and not to mention Northern California. This, I think, will be a little bit stronger than what we're going to see over the weekend, and as a result, I think we could see some maybe, just maybe some upper 90s, but I'm thinking mainly mid 90s here for Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. We'll have to see what happens with this as it kind of moves to the east. It may flatten that ridge even more and see a drop in our temperatures by the end of next week. So that's a good sign. And what that means is I just don't see any major heat waves heading our way. In fact, take a look at this. We take a look at the long range, and we're actually seeing some cooler air making its way in the Pacific Northwest, and we're starting to see, this is the gray color here. That's what we call getting in that near normal range, and then just a slight chance of seeing above normal temperatures. So, you know, the thing is, I just don't think we're going to really warm up. We're going to see a bigger warm up, looks like, off to the east of us. So that's a sign that, you know, I think the triple digits going to hold off for now. I don't think anybody's complaining about that. All right, let's take a look at our wave heights. And you can see here for today through 6 p.m., there is a small craft advisory through this morning, but by the afternoon that should be allowed to expire. You can see as we go into Friday, those wave heights are going to start to drop. So your marine forecast, north winds at 5 to 15 knots, waves from the north at 8 feet at 8 seconds, and from the northwest at 4 feet at 12 seconds. By the way, this will be subsiding through the day as well. So the small craft advisory you see here is through 9 o'clock this morning. Then it will be allowed to expire after that. Okay, so now we take a look at today, and here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. So I've included the chance for showers, maybe a thunderstorm on Sunday. Here's what I want to mention though. You're going to see for all of the mountain locations, lightning strikes, dark cloud, rain, right? I want you to know that this doesn't mean you're going to see it. It just means the chance is there, and I don't want you to be surprised. Now again, keep in mind, I'm tracking that potential for your Saturday as well. Here's your Trinity County to the south, 73 degrees for Forest Glen, 77 degrees for Hayfork. We take you out to the north coast. No showers, no thunderstorms in the forecast, just plenty of sunshine. There you can see for the inland areas, we're getting in the mid to upper 80s, maybe even some 90-degree readings in there. Ferndale, 74, 79 for Hydesville, 78 degrees in Rio Dell. Let's take you up north with about 70 for Eureka. Yes, even the coast is going to see temperatures around 70 with plenty of sunshine. Now look at Hoopa. You're up to 91 on Friday, 90 on Saturday, and then you see temperatures kind of tick down, then they kind of go back up next Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's a look at the north end. You can see Smith River 81, 77 for Gas Key, and Oric about 74 degrees. Now again, as you head into the mountains, I've included that chance for thunderstorms on Sunday, not guaranteed, and I may even bump that up here for Saturday as well. That's the case for Scott Valley with a high today of 74 degrees, 75 degrees for Callahan. All right, we take you to central eastern Siskiyou County with Tule Lake about 69, 76 degrees for McLeod as well as Mount Shasta City. And there's Dunsmuir with a high of about 79 degrees. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Yeah, the temperatures are going to be kind of hovering around the upper 60s, you know, touching that 70-degree mark in some spots here, getting even warmer. There's that chance for thunderstorms on Sunday. We take you into the eastern mountains southward here. You can see Bernie about 73 degrees today, 69 degrees for Bieber, and Paynes Creek about 79 degrees. Taking you out to Lassen Park and Lake Almanor, Chester. Well, you're looking at about 69 degrees today. 54 degrees in Summit Lake and 56 degrees out towards the south entrance of Lassen Volcanic National Park. Taking to the eastern mountains southward, Paradise up to 80 today. We're talking low to mid 80s here through the weekend and mid 80s through at least the middle of next week. Susanville, looks like you're going to see that chance for showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, but it won't make its way into Paradise. Your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Temperatures there in the upper 80s. So again, you see how we're really close to that 90-degree mark. Chico 89, 89 degrees for Durham. If you touch 90, it's not out of the question. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think most of us are just going to dodge that 90-degree mark today in the valley. All right, 87 degrees for Cottonwood, 88 for Redding, 82 out in Lakehead, and Whiskeytown about 83 degrees. All right, so there's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Upper 80s today, low 90s. Now, once we get into the 90s on Friday, the 90s are going to stick for a while. It's low 90s through the weekend. Your Mother's Day, Sunday, 92 degrees. And then we're in the mid 90s for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And, you know, could we be flirting with the upper 90s? Sure, maybe. But for now, I don't see it really getting that much higher than 95, 96. And then after Wednesday, I think we might even see temperatures begin to drop a little bit after that. So that certainly is some good news. All right, one last plug for the Redding Rodeo ticket giveaway. If you're watching on Facebook right now, comment in the comment section below and share this post. Let everyone know that you're watching. And that way they can watch, they can see if they don't know about this, and they can enter in the contest. So that's what you do if you're watching on Facebook, right? Now, if you're not watching on Facebook, as you know, you can watch this, and you're probably watching this from a different platform as well. It's easy. All you got to do is email me at mkrueger@weathernorcal.com, or all you got to do is go to the website. Okay, I'm going to take you to the home page. You go to the home page, and you see right there, just below Crown Motors, see my little cursor? Go to press contact. and then it puts a little form in there. Put your name, your email, and just the message saying, hey, I'd like to be entered into the contest. So be sure to check that out and get into the contest. I will be announcing the winners tomorrow morning right here on Coffee with Krueger. So be sure to watch. And then, of course, I will be contacting all of you and we'll be getting you going. My plan is, I've got all the tickets right here. Okay. My plan is to give it in sets of 4. Basically, what I've got here for all days, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've actually got a bunch for Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can give it in sets of 4 or sets of 2 is essentially what we're looking at here for all days. So what I'm going to do is I'll be contacting all of you, and then I'll just be asking you which day you want, and we'll kind of go from there. Yes, Lisa saying good luck to all who enter. Lisa saying shared with the comments. Awesome. Time to get rid of flannel sheets. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get the fan going, maybe even at night, the AC going. This is a good test. And by the way, one of my sponsors, Dennis's Heating and Air. If you want to have your AC checked out before the summer kicks in, they will do that for you. So Dennis's Heating and Air, I highly recommend it. They are amazing people. They do great work. So check it out. Let's see here. Beautiful morning on the coast. Good day to find your kites. I took off yesterday. Yeah, the coast, by the way, I think Eureka, I forget exactly when time of the year, but they have this really cool kite festival that they do. And they have all the kites flying around, and they choreograph them, and I mean, they're pretty amazing what they can do. Good morning from Ruth. Good morning from Lisa. Good luck to all that enter. Okay. Well, that is pretty much going to cover it this morning, folks. What do you say we get ready to call it a morning and get out there and tackle this day and make it a fantastic day? What do you say we do that? So I'm going to leave you with a couple of cameras here. We're going to start off with Lake Oroville North Forebay, and then we'll kind of take a tour of some of the other cameras with a little bit of the jazzy music in the background. And we will see you tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger, where I will be announcing the winners of these tickets, Reading Rodeo tickets. Yay, exciting, good stuff. So we will see you all tomorrow morning. In the meantime, have a great Thursday.
Thank you.